Good morning, Dr. Watson. My name is Francis Kasonde. This is the final submission of the thesis for anti-Americanism in the Middle East. Uh, Precisely anti-Americanism in Palestine and U.S. policy with Israel. This is the part of the critical analysis for the final submission. First, I want to say that I would like to apologize because this submission has come a little bit later than normally, and this is because of some of the technical difficulties that I've had. However, everything has been resolved, and I'm glad to say that I do appreciate again for this opportunity. Anti-Americanism in the Middle East, in Palestine, has grown into an ideology of hate and animosity against the United States. Nevertheless, in the Palestinian and Israeli conflict, this has been in existence for quite a long time now, though there has been a lot of discussions among countries within the international community to see how they can be able to work this situation, the conflict, to resolve the conflict. Though it seems that many efforts that have been put together up to this day, they seem to be amounting to nothing at all. One needs to understand that this is quite a very, very significant situation, that needs the uttermost attention of all the countries involved, because it's not only part of an international relations theory that has gone bad, but at the same time, it is a situation that has caused a lot of conflicts, a lot of loss of life in the region, and many put the blame on U.S. foreign policy towards Israel that seems to favor Israel as a nation, that seems to support Israel as a nation, and yet forgets about the Palestinian cause for freedom. This critical analysis, for me, kind of like goes beyond what the previous papers have said. The previous papers that I've written have said, because during the what I can say, the research of yet another research within the researches that I've conducted, I've come to realize that basically it is not because of U.S. foreign policy that seems to favor Israel that has caused so much hatred for the United States. I think it is because of the name that bears the brand of America as a country. What I'm saying, what I would like to put across is that America, as a nation that is worldly known for its international influence, its international economic standing in the world, and what America has done in the past, like in Iraq, what America has done in the past in Libya, what America has done in the past supporting Israel, which is a good thing, which is a very, very good thing, definitely, because it's one of the best allies that the United States has got in the Middle East. But besides this, from generation to generation, the brand of Americanism that has been passed within the Middle East, within countries in the Middle East, has been disapproved by the new generation, so to say, by the new generation. Because you see, when one argues from a point of foreign policy as being part of a situation that, as one of the main ingredients, so to say, that has actually affected the relationship between the Arab world and the United States of America, My argument, my critical analysis is that it is not the foreign policy, because within countries in the Middle East, even in remote areas in the Middle East and in Palestine itself, many people do not understand American policy towards uh, Israel is, or what American policy in the Middle East is, or what American policy, foreign policy for the region strategically is designed to accomplish. You see, they don't understand. But what they know and they understand is that the brand of Americanism, the brand that America is a great nation, the brand that America is influential, the brand that associates its influence and power with a name that most of them dislike. I think that's the problem that has caused this hatred. People to resent American support for Israel in the Middle East. That has caused a lot of people to actually hate America because of its foreign policy in the region. You see, many times we talk about American foreign policy in the region and how Arab nations despise the policy. But you see, within this critical analysis, you see, you will find that it's not so much of many nations, and I talk about people. A few, probably we are talking about 5% of the intellectual people, the academic scholars and foreign policy experts that understand American position in the Middle East and in Palestine specifically, that would argue their dissatisfaction on the basis that this has destabilized the region because there has not been a proper direction in terms of U.S. policy in the region. However, 85%, so to say, statistics that can be collected from the Pew poll that demonstrates that the larger majority of Palestinian people, for example, the young, especially the young ones, do not have the knowledge, really a deeper understanding of U.S. policy in the region. However, they dislike its influence in the region because they don't seem to understand what America wants to do. You see, and this is my argument right there, that you see, if the United States would actually try to help the Palestinian people understand its purpose in the region and understand its influence in the region, and that you see, America is not United States presence in the region is not there to destabilize the region, you see, or to support Israel against the Palestinian people, from obtaining their freedom or having a free two-state solution. It's not America's standing. You see, the United States is there in the region to try to see how it can best protect its ally Israel, but at the same time try to find a way of establishing a two-state solution. So without focusing much on what American foreign policy in the region is all about, you see, I focus on the brand name of the United States of America. Why is it that thousands of people in the region would react the moment they hear America, without even understanding the very concept of the policies upon which the United States of America would like to influence and bring economic development in the region, to bring political stability in the region, to bring security in the region, trade and investment in the region? Many don't want to spend time to understand that, because the brand name, which is America or the United States, just that brings a resentment that is associated with the persecution of the native people within the Middle East. And by this I mean the Arabs or people of Islamic faith. You see, they look at the brand name of the United States or America, and automatically that generates Americanism in their eyes, to despise what the United States stands for. You see, So it comes back to what is it that America is going to do to try to see and find a solution to help uh, get rid of this anti-Americanism in the Middle East, particularly in Palestine, which continues to grow. Anti-Americanism in the Middle East has not only given America a bad name with an unfriendly image on the international stage, and this is what I was actually trying to explain, that I am putting across. However, among various scholars and experts in Middle Eastern studies, like Paul Salem, Vice President for Policy and Research at Yale University, they are of the view that American policy towards Israel and the seemingly reluctant ambition to support the Palestinian cause for an independent state is what has contributed to the anti-Americanism crusade in the Arab world. The study of anti-Americanism clearly points out the specific primary reasons why Arabs hate America in Palestine and the reason it has grown over the years. This brings us back to the fact that anti-Americanism correlates with U.S. foreign policy towards Israel, especially among Arab states. Like I said before, it only correlates with U.S. foreign policy anti-Americanism, but it is not the major cause for the resentment of the United States within the Arab world, within the Middle East. It's not the only resentment, The study of anti-Americanism clearly points out that specific primary reasons why Arabs hate America and Palestine, and the reason it has grown over the years, is because Arabs in Palestine, for instance, or the Palestinian people, do not see a way forward through American eyes that is going to bring peace to the region. The study concludes by the study that has been conducted many years by scholars and researchers and most of the people, demonstrates that America's image can be improved by giving more effort in helping the Palestinian cause in their pursuit of freedom. Israel's prolonged battle with the Palestinians has for many years been a substantial area of attention in international politics and also in the international relations theory. But again, remember, it is not so much of American foreign policy in the region, or rather American influence in the region. What I have come to conclude in my research is that just because of the brand name, the moment people hear in the Middle East, the moment they hear America, resentment, anger, and hate or just comes like that, without understanding really what the principal objective in terms of foreign policy the United States wants to do. They don't have time. It's like they don't really have time to understand what the foreign policy is all about. You see, but for foreign policy experts, they understand, and therefore they would rather draw back their anger or emotions or sentiments against the United States, because then they have a wider understanding of what U.S. Policy is all about. Numerous reconciliation plans and initiatives, apparently endless consultations among different states, have yet to produce a peaceful settlement to the conflict. Many diplomatic efforts have taken place to resolve the conflict, but have all failed. You see, and I did mention this before, you see. So because of this, many people want to blame the failure of the peace talks on U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East, which again I argue that, you see, it is not U.S. foreign policy. It's not the failure of U.S. foreign policy, you see, because no matter what foreign policy a country can put in place, that foreign policy can only be achieved even with the understanding of the other group, that this country means well. But the moment the other side of the group looks at the one initiating and implementing the foreign policy in that particular instance, in that particular place, that it is of no good, that it's bad, that it's a negative. The moment people develop that negative attitude and sentiment against that policy implementation, foreign policy implementation in that particular place, then they resent it. You see, so automatically it is not about foreign policy, but rather it's about the brand name. As they say that reputation A man's reputation goes before him. So in other words, even before American foreign policy is revealed, is understood and known by many people in the region, like in Palestine, they look at America's reputation first, and they look at America's reputation as a nation that is out there to bring confusion in the region, which is not the case, and that is not true. You see, this country stands for, to bring hope, to bring peace, and to try to help nations that are weaker actually understand that they can make it even in tough times. I mean, there is a lot. I think, to be honest, is that it's good to realize that, you see, there is a lot that the United States is actually, you know, uh, continues to do in the Middle East, continues to do in for instance, in Syria, trying to bring hope and get rid of the enemies of peace and democracy. And all this needs to be realized, that, you see, foreign policy is not the issue. For American foreign policy is good only because of its name, the brand name, that many people continue to despise it. Again, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Croston for yet another opportunity for me to present my thesis, and I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward actually to working with you, sir. I must say thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.